kick out of it.
What's the secret? How does he do it?
Helen, are you ready?
Thank you. Go Dodgers. Go Ducks.
And
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody.
Put me in cold. I'm ready to play today. Put me in cold. I'm ready to play today. Look at me. I can be center field.
Every day, Coach Ron Tunick talks about the internet, careers, wine, food, and style, real estate, construction, and financial stuff. It's time for Driving Home with a Coach in the Business of Life on AM 1400 KKZZ. Now, here's the coach, Ron Tunick.
Put me in cold. I'm ready to play.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Business of Life. Ken Winans is just literally one of the smartest men in America. You can go to Ken Winans, WINANS.com. Isn't he, Keith? I mean, this guy is brilliant.
Yeah, he's very thought-provoking, that's for sure. He gets me thinking.
Yeah, he gets us all thinking. So tomorrow, tune in because we're going to talk about our new socialistic government that we now have. All right, so off of politics, on to computers. You're one of the smartest guys I've ever met in my life. You're one of the nicest men I've ever met in my life. All City Computers, I love your company. What are we going to talk about today?
Well, we're going to talk about how the concierge program is growing, and we've added some new elements that are flat rate charges that will make it a lot easier to use that program. And we're going to have a special offer for the listeners today. And I thought we'd also talk a little bit about how IT or information technology has been involved in a lot of these bank failures and financial and economic situations we've had over the last 20 years.
Yeah, I think that's what scares me. It's interesting you bring that up. I think what scares me is they're going to do this bailout. Mm-hmm. How big a staff? A. B, they're going to need new computers. Hopefully they'll get them from All City Computers. Yeah. But managing this whole thing from your point of view has to be just unbelievable.
You know, I was with the Data Processing Management Association, San Fernando Valley Division, back in the late 80s when the whole bank failure situation was happening in this country, and an organization called the Resolution Trust came about that was organized to help those banks get through that and reform and help the country. So instead of throwing $700 billion at it, the government formed these groups to go in and try to examine what the heck happened. And part of the Data Processing Management Association, Lois Kaplan at that time, she was a genius in computers from the 50s and 60s, and she was getting paid fantastic amounts of money to go in and recover these data tapes, and no one else knew how to read them but her, and these other people had all been fired and let go, so nobody knew where the money went or what happened. She had to find out.
You're scaring me.
Well, what happened after that, if you remember, that was part of that Graham Leach amendment, and then after that we had the real estate failures in the early 90s that reached into the mid-90s. That was a result of that. As all the banks tried to bring themselves back up, then things got better, wound up faster, and as Ken and you and Jim Sumner this week have also talked about, is people start spending, they don't think about the future, maybe they don't save enough, and then we go into a situation like now, and maybe you don't have the money to go out and buy that new computer system or server system that you probably needed to have to get through this. Because right now, your best bet is to be well prepared, have a nice Intuit or spreadsheet program to be able to take care of your finances. Get rid of that pencil and paper and get an Excel spreadsheet and write down what you're spending, type it out, look at it, and then when you think about it, you get that gut level feeling. It's hard to just take these numbers out of air saying, oh, I think I spend this much for Edison and electricity, this much for water, and this much for my credit card. It's better to have it in a piece of paper.
You know what's
Actually, that's what I was going to be talking about, is the concierge IT services allows you to cut out a lot of unplanned expenses. In the past, and I've been doing a lot of number crunching at the E-Extravaganza, talking with clients and watching people walk into All City with very sad faces and broken hearts because their computer wasn't working, it blue screened, it got a virus, it crashed, it got dropped, something happened. And they had lost their data. They lost their book. They lost their thesis. That's when you have some problems because you're going to spend time and money getting that back. And same thing with the employees at All City or any company is if you're working productively, you're backing up your data, you're making sure that you document what you do, then you're not going to have wasteful time and wasteful experiences and wasteful purchases. You know, I don't think a day goes by when I don't get 2 or 3 phone calls from people saying, well, I've got this great deal, Keith, and I can look back in my emails and the other people I've talked to and say, well, gee, I had these offers from these people. How do you compare? They weren't ready for that I've done my bookwork and studying. I've gone to my thinking room. So that's the way I think you can really save that money. And what we came about from all that studying is that You don't have to charge per gigabyte or per unit of storage. You don't have to give people these sliding scales of monthly fees. It's just too confusing. I don't think a day goes by when I don't talk to a company about how many terabytes or gigabytes they have, and their eyes roll back in their head. And you and I had lunch about this. You said, Keith, you got to make it simple. And Keith and I were there, and what we've decided to do is we've run a lot of numbers and figured out that it doesn't matter how much data you've got. We're going to charge you the same amount of money to back up and remotely service and take care of your laptop or PC. It's $35 a month. Doesn't matter what you got in it. Doesn't matter what you're doing. We're going to be there, like you said, all the time to take care of it. You have a voice, a person you can talk to, and we can fix that system, and we can recover your files if you lose them in seconds with this package we put together. That's a single charge. That's going to save you money.
All right, let's check.
I can tell you a few things right now that we've talked about at the extravaganza, and I've got some white papers available. If you email me at kgunther@all-city.com, I can send it out to you. It's as simple as this. You go to your laptop, you go to your PC, and you go to your settings, and you have it go to sleep. You have the screen go to sleep after 5 minutes if you're not using it. You have the hard drive go to sleep after 10 minutes or 15 minutes if you're not going to use it. If you're not at the most energy efficient settings, you could be wasting $5-10 a month on that. And if you have 5 PCs, or let's say you had a server, one server, if you eliminate that server with storage virtualization or using our remote service, you're going to save over $600 a year on that single one. If you've got a company like yours, Coach, and you've got 20-30 PCs, you've got a couple servers, you've got 10 printers, multifunction device, you can save $6 to $8 grand a year in power consumption and heat dissipation costs just by changing settings and going to more efficient systems.
I'm all over it, baby. Call Scooter. All right.
Or, gee, you went to you went and bought these clothes. I mean, I think if you have a spouse and you do look at those numbers and, they're spending $500 a month to getting their hair and nails done, or they're spending $600 a month on golf, and maybe you don't have the budget for that, that's the issue. And you attack the issue, not the person. You have to be soft on the person, hard on the problem. And that's what you do with an Excel spreadsheet, because you're not pointing at your spouse, you're pointing at the paper and saying, hey, this is not your fault, but we need to talk about this. Hey, guys, maybe
that's pretty good advice. Can you sit down with Tommy Spence? And that's pretty good advice, really.
It
is.
Does Colleen listen to the show? Does Colleen listen to the show? Uh-oh.
You never know.
Colleen.
You never know. She might.
I wonder, okay, I don't need a woman to call in. If you're a sports mom, soccer mom, hockey mom, your essentials are spending money on your kids. And the kids are the last to go. I mean, you're going to spend money on your kids before you spend money on yourself.
There's another one with the kids, getting those, and I'll see those chocolate milks in the bottle. Cole would never know the difference. If you get the big thing of Quick and milk and stir it up yourself, it's like $1.25 a glass difference. It is remarkable how much cheaper that. You do the lazy man, you grab the bottle, here, kid, have the bottle gone. And you're looking at that, and it's just expensive. You can still have fun with your kids. You can still have them enjoy. And like you said, cut back, not off, and things like that. But you've just got to be diligent with always doing these things.
And we cut back on our air conditioning too, Spence. Can you believe that?
We saw they run that graph for you in your bill.
Yeah.
Compared to last August to this August. We didn't. Thank goodness my wife was willing to, because I'm not out there when it's 101 in Fillmore in the mid-afternoon, and she was really, and like you were saying, there's some things where I might, and then she saved us money on that, so I have to give her huge credit for cutting down on that. So there is a little, the finger pointing is dangerous.
Okay, I'm just thinking ideas. We're going to go into a whole different kind of government. We're going to go into a whole different kind of economy here in the next year or two. So guys like you, Keith, who are smart, know how to do things, you literally could become a money coach in a different way, where you sit down with people and you literally do a complete examination. I mean, where you sit down with somebody like Tom Spence and you go through every single dollar that he's spending, every single dollar he's taking in, and figure out how on a computer. I don't know. Are there software programs that do this?
Absolutely. You just have to put the numbers in, and there's a lot of other areas you can save money as well. And people need to have that sort of guidance. I do some blogs, and I'm on LinkedIn and some other sites where I'm doing things on green IT now, and I'm starting to link up with other people like me. And you're right. There's a growing group that Linda P. Taylor has introduced me to of people that are out there sharing that information, just because we're all human beings.
I'm on MySpace now. I can't believe it. So I have no idea. Yeah, look, Spence is laughing. I'm on MySpace. Go to MySpace and look up Coach Ron Tunney. So I'm trying to figure out, I want to get into this IT world. I want to be part of the All City Computer family.